They say beneath Lake Tahoe, something breathes, not a beast, not a man, but those who've seen it never saw anything again. This is Whisper from History, where forgotten voices rise again. Night fell heavy over the still waters of Lake Tahoe. The mountains stood like silent guards, their peaks veiled in a thin breath of fog. The year was 1963. Tourists had long left the shoreline, leaving behind empty docks and the soft hum of waves that whispered like secrets. And somewhere beneath that moonlit surface, something ancient was said to move. Locals called it Tahoe Tessie, a name that sounded almost playful, yet carried the weight of countless midnight tales. Fishermen spoke of shadows rising beneath their boats, of ripples that came from nowhere and vanished into silence. The old Washoe people, the first to live by this lake, spoke of water spirits, beings that guarded the depths since the world was young. They warned never to disturb what sleeps beneath still waters. In early spring of 1959, a diver named Ramon Cummings disappeared while exploring an underwater cave near Emerald Bay. He had told friends he wanted to find proof of an underwater tunnel that linked Tahoe to Pyramid Lake. Some said he was chasing a legend. Others believed he had seen something that no man should. When his diving line was pulled back, it came up frayed and torn. No body was ever recovered. His brother returned every summer searching. He spoke of hearing deep, rumbling sounds at night echoing through the hull of his boat, the kind of sound that rattles the bones and makes your skin cold. Locals avoided that part of the lake. They said the water there never reflected the stars, but this was only the beginning. By 1971, reports started to surface from tourists. Families on picnic boats saw what they described as a dark serpentine shape gliding beneath the surface. Others spoke of waves forming in dead calm water, as if pushed by something enormous. The sheriff's department dismissed the claims, calling it large sturgeons or tricks of light. Yet the stories grew, each one more detailed, more unsettling. In 1978, 2 fishermen out near Cave Rock swore they saw something rise from the lake. Not a fish, not a log, a long dark mass moving with purpose. One of them said it had eyes like mirrors, reflecting the moonlight. He quit fishing the next morning and left town within a week. But what was really happening beneath the surface? Scientists from the University of Nevada conducted sonar scans of the lake in the early 80s. They found strange anomalies, massive moving shapes deep below the thermocline where sunlight never reaches. The data was inconclusive, but one researcher whispered in confidence, "If this is a living thing, it's bigger than any recorded freshwater creature in North America." In 1982, a maintenance diver for a casino reported something that would haunt him for life. He had been inspecting cables on the lakebed when he found what he thought were human remains. Bodies suspended upright in the freezing dark. He described them as perfectly preserved, their faces pale and untouched. The sheriff later confirmed that Lake Tahoe's depth and temperature could indeed preserve bodies indefinitely. But the diver swore he saw movement among them, as if something brushed past his leg before he shot back to the surface, gasping. People began to connect the dots. Old stories of missing boaters, reports of strange vibrations felt through the hulls of vessels, echoes rising from the deep as if the lake itself was breathing. By the late 80s, Tahoe Tessie became a local legend. Shops sold keychains and postcards. Tour boats mentioned her in jokes, but the laughter never reached the eyes of the locals who had lived there long before the cameras came. One cold November night in 1991, a storm rolled across the lake. A couple driving along the eastern shore pulled over when lightning split the sky. They looked out across the water. A massive shape arched through the waves, illuminated for a single instant. They said it was like the back of a whale, but longer and thinner, glistening with scales. Then it was gone, swallowed by the storm. But this was no isolated sighting. The Washoe elders gathered that winter in quiet council. They spoke of old prophecies that warned when the lake spirits were disturbed, the mountains would tremble. They said the creature was not evil, but ancient, a guardian of balance. And humans had broken that balance with noise pollution, dredging, and careless tourism. In the early 2000s, divers exploring Tahoe's deep basins for geological research reported something extraordinary. Thermal cameras picked up faint heat signatures moving in the blackness. One diver recorded sonar echoes that seemed to follow them. At one point, his camera captured a fleeting silhouette, a long neck, a powerful body, a motion like a serpent twisting through eternity. When the footage was reviewed later, it was dismissed as equipment interference, but the diver refused to go back. What if the creature was not alone? What if there was an entire ecosystem hidden in those icy depths? Lake Tahoe is over 1,600 feet deep. Its cold is absolute, its visibility hauntingly clear. If anything lived down there, it could remain unseen for centuries. Scientists explained away the legends with geology. Tahoe was formed by ancient fault movements, they said. Deep cracks beneath the lake could create seismic waves, giving the illusion of movement. But others believed those cracks were passageways, tunnels connecting to Pyramid Lake and even the Pacific, and through those tunnels something might travel unseen. In 2012, a construction team working near the southern marina reported strange tremors. Their instruments recorded rhythmic pulses coming from beneath the lake bed, as if something vast was moving slowly under layers of rock and sand. The readings stopped abruptly. When they lowered a camera to inspect, they found nothing, just endless darkness. But the darkness seemed to breathe. Every few years, new sightings reignite the mystery. A kayaker who swore he saw a ripple chase his boat. A drone operator whose footage showed a black line cutting across the water before disappearing. Each story adds another layer to the myth, yet each one feels eerily sincere. To this day, locals claim that when the fog is heavy and the wind is still, you can hear the water hum, a low, distant resonance that vibrates through the chest. Some say it is the echo of tectonic plates shifting. Others say it is the heartbeat of the lake's oldest resident. And still, the question lingers. What truly sleeps beneath Lake Tahoe? The Washoe still leave offerings of sage and pine by the shore. They whisper prayers to the deep, asking for peace. Tourists pass by without knowing the meaning. The lake looks calm, reflecting the sky like a mirror. But mirrors can lie. In recent years, underwater drones have ventured deeper than ever before. Their lights reveal strange formations, caverns carved smooth as if by movement. In one recording, a shadow crossed the lens. It moved too deliberately to be sediment or debris. The feed cut off moments later. The operator described hearing a sound through the monitor, a deep vibrating tone that grew louder until the equipment went dead. When the drone was retrieved, the casing was scraped. 3 parallel marks etched across the metal. Perhaps it was coincidence. Perhaps not. Lake Tahoe remains one of the clearest bodies of water in the world. And yet, what lies at its bottom is one of America's greatest aquatic mysteries. The surface shines with beauty, but beauty often hides depth. Depth hides darkness, and darkness keeps secrets. Some nights the lake is so calm it looks like glass. The stars float upon it, and beneath that reflection, a shadow moves slow and patient, older than any story, older than the first footprint left on its shore. The locals do not laugh anymore. They simply say, "The lake remembers," and sometimes it answers. Even today, Lake Tahoe seems silent, but beneath its stillness, something is still alive waiting for someone to see it. So tell me, would you dare to go into that lake?